A former U.S. president could be facing jail time, and U.S. lawmakers respond to strings of controversial bills.
Tonight, Iowa faces a giant in the Final Four.
And there's a chance for some severe weather this afternoon in Iowa City.
This is DITV News at 8:30. Good morning, and thank you for tuning in live to DITV and KRUI 89.7 FM. I'm Abigail Curtin. Yesterday afternoon, it was announced that former President Donald Trump would be arrested. DITV reporter Johnny Valtman has more.
For the first time in U.S. history, a president will be arrested. 45th President Donald Trump has been indicted by a New York grand jury on a 2016 hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels. The money used was taken from the former president's campaign.
I think this is a much stronger case than people recognize. He's going to be faced in American public opinion, right, left, Trump or not.
Before the indictment, the grand jury heard testimony from a witness whose identity is unknown at this time. While official charges against the former president haven't been announced yet, 30 counts of business fraud are on the table.
Yeah, no, it is the beginning of the beginning. And that's the troubling part, Aaron, is that there may be serious charges down the road.
The former president is expected to go through routine steps of a felony arrest early next week. Former President Trump does have a court date set for Tuesday for an arraignment. This is Johnny Valtman, DITV.
And on Wednesday, former Vice President Mike Pence attended the Johnson County Republican Reagan dinner in Coralville. At the dinner, Pence reflected on his role as vice president while critical of the current Biden-Harris administration. DITV News reporter Christine Valora has more from the event.
I'm here in Iowa to say to each and every one of you, it has never been more important for Iowa to choose the right leadership of the Republican Party to lead us out of the failed policies of the Biden-Harris administration. We're counting on you.
Pence riled a crowd of Iowa Republicans and emphasized the power of Iowa if a Republican president is elected in the upcoming presidential cycle.
Feels at the heart of the Republican Party, of a strong national defense, of limited government, fiscal responsibility, and an unwavering commitment to traditional moral values is the foundation of the Republican Party today, and it's the pathway for American renewal in 2024. I believe it with all my heart.
Despite not announcing a run for presidency, Pence left Iowans with his hopes for the future and reflections of the past. From Coralville, Christine Valora, DITV.
Now, some big storms are heading to Iowa City, and Noah Klosterman is outside with our weather update.
Thank you, Abigail. Today's weather is likely to be hectic. The National Weather Service has issued warnings for multiple states. Today, there is a chance for intense thunderstorms, large hail, high winds, and possible isolated tornadoes across the Midwest. Strong tornadoes can also occur in the Waterloo or Iowa City area. Severe thunderstorms might linger into Saturday, as well as strong and potentially damaging wind. To prepare, it's recommended that individuals have multiple ways to receive severe weather or tornado warnings, know where their nearest tornado shelter is, and to stay clear from windows, cars, and large freestanding expanses in the event a tornado may touch down near them. Today's forecast, it's looking like it's going to be cooled down to 52 degrees tonight, and the temperature will continue to drop into Saturday morning with a high of 46. Let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. Sunday is going to be a warm 67. Expect some cloud coverage and strong wind gusts. It's looking like we're going to start next week off with a chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms for Monday and Tuesday. Later this week, it's expected to stay dry, but temperatures will drop to the low 40s and 50s. That's all I have for weather today. Back to you, Abigail.
Thanks, Noah. And while in Washington, D.C., DITV News Director Ashley Wheel got to learn more about Iowa politicians' reactions on a controversial string of bills being proposed nationally and in Iowa.
The Iowa legislature recently passed a bill that restricts gender reassignment surgery and puberty blockers for minors. This is all a part of a statewide push for more parental control.
Additional education bills are moving through the U.S. House and the Iowa Senate regarding parental rights. The U.S. House bill was supported by Iowa U.S. Representatives Marinette Miller-Meeks and Ashley Hinson.
We wanted to lay down the baseline of some basic policy to make sure it's very clear where we stand, because that is an issue that I continue to hear about from parents in the district back home.
Parents, number one, are the primary educators of their children. Number two, they have a right to have a voice in their child's education.
Both representatives from Iowa spoke on the importance of parents being involved, especially after the FBI investigations around parents for attending school board meetings.
Was that actions of the FBI and the Department of Justice labeling parents attending a school board meeting as domestic terrorists, that had a chilling effect upon free speech and freedom of association.
Some are concerned that parental control legislation could put children's privacy and protection at risk, especially over topics of gender identity. However, these lawmakers say that those are conversations parents should be involved in.
That's where my biggest beef was when you're telling kids at Linn-Mar School that are 12 years old and older that it's okay to change your gender at school and not tell the parents. Parents should be involved in that conversation, not shut out. So that is where my main focus lies. And again, that's why I'm supporting policies like the Parents' Bill of Rights, because I think that is the answer to the transparency piece.
From Washington, D.C., this is Ashley Wheel, DITV.
And despite the ongoing legislation related to LGBTQ+ individuals, today is International Transgender Day of Visibility, a day to show off pride and support around the world. Specifically in Iowa City, the mayor, Bruce Teague, recently declared the day an official day of celebration in Iowa City. There are also events planned through the UI Pride House and local pride organizations to recognize and celebrate transgender individuals. And as Women's History Month officially comes to an end, women-owned businesses continue to be an important factor for Iowa City. Angelica Toro-Torres has more.
The downtown district is home to over 60 women-owned businesses. This is not the same case in other parts of the state.
A few years ago, at least, women-owned businesses ranked, Iowa ranked at the very, near the bottom in the country for the number of women-owned businesses. But man, I feel like Iowa City has got to be up there.
One shop downtown, Molly's Cupcakes, is not only women-owned, but is also women-managed.
I think it's just kind of an ongoing everyday celebration of women, and really we just empower each other like no other.
The shop recently hit 10 years in Iowa City and is proud of what it has accomplished, including opening additional shops in Des Moines and soon another in Bettendorf. From Iowa City, Angelica Toro-Torres, DITV.
Now let's send it over to AJ Reister with sports.
Thanks, Abigail. The Iowa women's basketball team is 2 games away from a national championship, and tonight they have a chance to shock the world. DITV sports reporter Sarah Galla has more.
History in the making as the Iowa women's basketball team has changed the way the world views women's basketball. And a moment to get excited about as the Iowa Hawkeyes made it till the Final Four and will be the underdogs in their game today against the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Well, we are extremely excited to represent Hawkeye Nation here at the Women's Final Four. We know we have an incredible challenge ahead of us. I'm just trying to convince my team 40 minutes of basketball and a lifetime of memories.
To get where they are now, these Hawkeyes had defeated Southern Eastern Louisiana, Georgia, Colorado, and Louisville. Star player Caitlin Clark and the rest of the squad has brought so much fan attention. Now ticket prices keep on rising and viewership on television keeps on growing.
I think it's starting to get, the viewership, the attention, things like that, it deserves. And when people really turn on the TV or sit in the seat, they understand how good the product is and how much fun it is to watch. And more than anything, I'm just lucky, and we're just lucky that we get to play on this stage in front of so many people that, love the game and want to watch our game. It definitely shows how much the game is growing and how high of a demand there is for people to want to get into the door to this game. And, a lot of people are going to turn it on TV, too, if they couldn't make it down here to Dallas.
Now, Caitlin Clark is coming off becoming the first ever player in NCAA tournament history to record a 40-point triple-double. However, the South Carolina Gamecocks are undefeated this season and are the favorites to win their second straight national title. But if these Hawkeyes upset South Carolina, they will go dancing with the winner of Virginia Tech and LSU in the championship game.
From the University of Iowa, I'm Sarah Galla, DITV Sports.
Thanks, Sarah. And speaking of Iowa's GOAT, Caitlin Clark, she was named the Naismith Player of the Year Wednesday afternoon in Dallas ahead of the Final Four matchup.
Naismith Trophy for the most outstanding women's college basketball player to Caitlin Clark.
You know, I came to the University of Iowa with a dream to be here and competing for a national championship, and, you know, these two believed in me more than anything. Coach Bluter, Coach Day, you know, I love you, and your belief in this team and this program means so much to me and what we've been able to achieve.
Clark is the first player ever in Division I women's basketball history to record 900 points and 300 assists in the same season. Her 984 points are the second most in a single season in Big Ten history, behind Iowa's very own Megan Gustafsson. And speaking of the Final Four, the men's side of the tournament has been even crazier. We will all find out together how this madness is going to end tomorrow night. UConn, Miami, San Diego State, and Florida Atlantic. 6 brackets out of the millions that were submitted had these 4 teams making it this far. And it is the first time in history there are no 3 or better seeds competing for a championship title.
I still don't think our guys are going to be fazed by the 70+ thousand, the lights, the attention, because they love ball, they love to compete, and they have a lot of faith in their teammates.
I'll tell my kids about this, how I was a leader on one of the best teams ever in FAU history.
We didn't just say it wasn't empty words just to get a kid to come. We believed if we did what we were supposed to do, we could make a Final Four, we could win a national championship.
And everybody, I believe, had us losing to all those teams, so like we're fine with being the underdogs. We've been all year.
The championship game will be on Monday, where the winner of UConn, Miami, and San Diego State and Florida Atlantic will compete for the most prestigious trophy in college basketball. And former Iowa men's basketball star Keegan Murray made history this week, breaking the NBA rookie record for made three-pointers. Murray has drained 188 shots from deep this season for the Sacramento Kings, who are on their way to their first playoff appearance since 2006. Keegan, after the game, said that he wasn't even aware that he was getting close to the record, and his girlfriend was the one that told him he was so close. Murray also said, quote, "I think it's crazy because it comes on the flow of our offense. I feel like I really don't do anything special. We have a lot of guys that know how to play make," end quote. Keegan Murray and the Kings will look to continue their success in their pursuit of their first playoff series victory in 19 years. And the Iowa gymnastics team made their way to Norman, Oklahoma, and finished third after scoring a 196.5 on Thursday in the second round of the NCAA championships at the Norman Regional. On vault, Iowa had 3 Hawkeyes score a 9.8 or higher to finish with a team score of 49.075. In the overall championship, Iowa had multiple gymnasts score a 9.8 or higher, and Jerquavia Henderson finished all around, reaching a second-place spot on the podium with a score of 39.5. That wraps up the Iowa gymnast season, and Iowa finished behind Alabama and Kentucky, but finished ahead of Illinois. And Iowa baseball is getting ready to host the Terrapins in their Big Ten opener. The 3-game series will begin Friday at 12 p.m., following a busy weekend with the second game moving to Saturday at 2:05. The last game of the series will be held on Sunday at 1:05. Maryland is currently on a 3-game winning streak and holds a 15-9 overall record to start their season, with their best win being against number 4 ranked Ole Miss. The Hawks are 9-0 at Duane Banks Field and have hopes of continuing their winning streak on their home turf. You can follow along to see if the Hawkeyes can bounce back after their loss to Illinois State on Tuesday, and all games will be streamed live on BTN+. Come back Monday for everything Hawkeye sports. Now send it back to you, Abigail.
Thanks, AJ. And today is also National Crayon Day, which aims to celebrate the more than 100 years of joy and color crayons have sparked in the art world. With the holiday having been celebrated since the early 1900s, some ways to celebrate this colorful holiday include coloring or by making your own crayon-centric crafts, such as glitter crayons or crayon candles. Thank you for tuning into DITV News and listening to KRU 89.7 FM. Head over to thedailyiowan.com/DITV for more. Have a great day.